Okay, guys, hope you're having a great Friday. I want to share an idea with business owners, and it's about how to create more profit. And this was based on some things that I've learned from a guy named Jay Abraham. If you've never seen Jay Abraham, look him up. He's got some great information on scaling and leverage. So, today we're going to talk about how to create more profit and even more time without spending anything. So basically, I'm going to give an example from my business, and you can use that. I'm going to tell you an example of another person that I know that was running into the same issues. So in my business, I do very high-end financial strategy. And the problem with that is that the numbers we deal with, and there's a lot of struggle in finding providers, insurance companies, banks, and so forth that can do the things we need to get done. And it's also super time consuming to do it all in-house. And so what I did is I went and I looked for the very best companies that could provide that for me. And I'll tell you what I found. I mean, I had to go through 3 or 4 different ones of the best I could find. I had to go through 3 or 4 to find the best of the best. Well, I picked up one of the companies I picked up has a 79-year history. They have 3 generations of leaders. They have an entire back office, and all the service needs that you could want, obviously, and they have a huge reputation. So why is this important? Well, I went to them, told them what I was doing, and worked out an arrangement with them. And what did it do for my clients? Well, it gave them better access to better ideas and product and banking relationships and all that kind of thing. But it also, how long and how much has this company invested to create a 79-year history, 3 generations, entire back office, like a whole staff, like numerous very highly qualified, credentialed staff, the service people, all of that. They've spent millions and millions and millions of dollars to do that. And what I'm saying to you is essentially, I am walking to them. I take a client, this is just one of the relationships that I've created over the years, but I take a client, find out their situation, and if this company has something that can help this client, I get paid. They get paid. This company, by the way, a very small percentage. And the client is the ultimate winner. But for my firm, it saves an incredible amount of time and an unbelievable amount of money. And, the same thing can be done, with many, many types of businesses. It can cost an utter fortune, as you know, to build a business and all the employee costs and all that kind of thing. Using what Jay Abraham says, and by the way, he's the guy behind like Tony Robbins and many others. He's a strategist. And he's like, look, what if you didn't have any money or, any time? You can tap into the resources of maybe a firm that's way better at certain parts of it. So the key to it is to understand what you're actually good at. Like what I'm really good at is strategy. So I just need great technicians to do what I determine in strategy. I mean, usually with one client, there might be multiple relationships that we activate, but for us to actually create those all in-house would cost, hundreds of millions of dollars a year to keep that all up and moving, where we can just access it through our relationship with them. So another example that might make this clearer is one of my good friends up in Los Angeles who does very high-end marketing programs for a specific niche. And he charges quite a bit of money. I believe it's like $100,000 per engagement. And we were talking about this like several years ago. And, it's like, I said, well, okay, so you make 100,000 per new client. I said, well, how much time does that take of yours to build out all the pieces that go with their campaign? He said, well, it takes me like 3 months to do that, which sounds good and all. I said, but what are you really good at? He's like, I'm really good at, kind of like I am, like he's good at the strategy part. I said, well, how much does it cost you by not being able to go share the new strategies with more and more people? He said, well, it costs me a fortune. Like I can never climb out of being, tied to doing all the details to earn this. I said, well, is there anybody that can do the actual legwork to build out what you've created in strategy? He said, yeah, there's like a lot of companies could do that. There's filming, there's, setting up websites, all that. He said, I said, well, are they as good or better than you? And he's like, well, yeah, he didn't want to admit that, but the reality is there are people that are better than him at certain pieces of it. Same with like this company here. In this arrangement, they have relationships that have been built on decades. Okay, I can't just go find that relationship and create decades of time. So in this guy here in Los Angeles, it was like, what if you're really good at the strategy and he has a great reputation, so he's really good at a lot of new clients come to him. What if you found a firm to do all this detail work and you created a partnership, if you will, with them? And, depending on how much they do and so forth, you give them a percentage, but now you could just focus on this. That way and also it would be client like service after they have become a client and everything's developed. He can focus on these areas alone and let the detail work that takes all the time and the money, because you have to have employees and so forth to do. Why don't you do that? Like, how much more could your business grow? And he's like, it could just grow like crazy. And so it's the same in my business, when I was trying to be the be all end all, which a lot of financial people try to do that. They have the staff and everything right in house. You can only help people up to a certain level because certain things require super advanced skill, and there's just not enough dollars to hire all that in-house. And what Jay Abraham's whole thought process is that you can tap right into full-blown businesses that are already investing in all of this. They're already investing in an entire staff. They would love, 99 times out of 100 that I've ever seen, they would love new people to help, even if it's in a partnership and agreement and they're just doing some of the back end for you, because they're already paying the employees anyway. They've already built the reputation anyway. It's just additional revenue for them, but ultimately you benefit, and most importantly, your customers benefit because they get access to better and better quality. So with that said, the final thought that I'll throw in here is, this is something Russell Brunson always talked about. It's like the ladder of value. And maybe your company only provides this. Like this could be your whatever it is, your $1,000 whatever. Maybe you're a dentist, maybe you're, whatever you are, whatever the business is, and maybe you have a couple of the ladders. What are the other ladders that are out there that complement what you do and would actually enhance your client's experience with your firm? Because there are companies, just like I showed here in this right here, that have complementary, non-competing products, services, etc., that would enhance your customer's experience with your firm, with your company. And by adding those, an example would be like, I already used dentist, but we'll use them again, like on dentist, when they started adding teeth whitening and this, that, the other thing, or you look at medical spas now and they offer everything, it seems like. What they're doing is filling up a value ladder and allowing potentially, in most cases, companies that have already built a great service or product, they are using, just offering it as another service or product to their customers. And what could that actually do? Well, if it's, maybe you only work with stuff like this, like $1,000 or under, or $100 or whatever the cost is. Maybe they have something that's a $25,000 crazy service, but you can offer it through your company with your customers and split it, or whatever the case may be. It's a way that you could actually cover all your overhead, or even make more than your overhead. I mean, overhead is not getting any cheaper. It's getting much more expensive. But at very worst, you could cover your overhead. Second way, you could add it as a profit stream, a profit or a passive income stream. And a final thought on this, I mean, I always think of like George Foreman. And he made like, I can't remember what it was in the ring. It wasn't a lot of money in the ring, but he made like $150 million being the spokesman for the Foreman Grill. It was a licensing contract. So basically what a lot of this is licensing. Me, I'm in high-end financial strategy. So I actually have to have these providers, because there's no way in-house we could do what we need to do at the level it needs to be done by trying to keep everything in-house. I believe that the economy right now is a collaborative economy more than it's ever been. So with that, I just wanted to share this. This is some business wisdom that is based around strategy. So I hope you got something from that. And again, this is John Duncan. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you.